Welcome back to another round of Tuesday Trivia. I am going to be giving you the synopses of 10 different films, and you are going to try to guess what those films are. I have more clues for you, but I'll explain that after the intro. I'm also going to tell you in the intro what the theme is this week, and it is videos that I featured in my last post. So my last YouTube video was about my large haul of 28 VHS tapes from a local thrift store. So that is going to be the theme. I'm only doing 10, but that's the theme. So if you saw that video, that's going to give you a leg up over everybody else. So let's get into it. What's up, physical media fans and trivia fans? I'm back with another Tuesday Trivia. If you don't remember how this works, I read to you a synopsis minus identifying names, places, words of a movie, and you try to guess what it is. If you don't get it from the synopsis, I then give you the year, the cast, the top 3 cast in reverse order of billing, and the director, and then I'll give you the answer. I also have fun facts back for this week, so I'll be giving you a fun fact about each of the titles I go through. I already mentioned these are all VHSs or all movies featured in my VHS haul from the last video that I posted here on YouTube on my channel. So if you haven't seen that one, that's okay. Play the game. You should be able to get some of these. They're not... Some of them are pretty hard. I wouldn't say any of them are impossible or super hard, but there's a mix, easy to hard. But if you have seen that video, you're going to have an advantage over everybody else. Let me know how many you got or if you got any in the comments, and I would appreciate it. So let's get right to it. Movie number 1. In this visually stunning sequel, Blank tracks rogue IMF agent Ambrose, who threatens to release a deadly virus on Sydney, Australia, and corner the market on the cure. Ambrose's ex-girlfriend, Naya, a jewel thief, is recruited to spy on Ambrose from inside. Of course, Naya and Blank fall in love, the weakest element of the movie. Director Blank brings his trademark balletic style to the action, and the stunts and fights, while completely preposterous, are beautifully done. The plot is also less convoluted than the first pick. So did you get that from the synopsis? This one's very well known. It did well at the box office, I think, but it's been a while. The year is 2000. So the year is 2000. So it's been 26 years since this was in theaters, which is mind-blowing to me. I did see it in the theater. The cast is Anthony Hopkins, Thandie Newton, and Tom Cruise. So that might be the giveaway there. And the director is John Woo. John Woo. Did you get it? That movie is Mission Impossible 2. So it's number 2. John Woo did number 2, kept in his signature, his director trademark of the doves, the slow motion doves, the balletic action, which in last week's trivia, I read the synopsis for A Better Tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure it said balletic action in that one too. So the Video Hound's Golden Movie Retriever, which I'm getting these synopses from, thinks that John Woo does balletic action, which he does. Fair enough. The fun fact I have for you is that Tom Cruise famously does his own stunts. I put that in quotes. But that is a bit misleading. He does use stunt doubles, and in fact, there are 2 stunt doubles in this film, just in the rock climbing scene alone. So, I do appreciate that he does his own stunts. He hangs onto the side of an airplane or whatever. He does a lot of that stuff, but, they still use stunt doubles. He's a billion-dollar actor, and stunt doubles are a lot cheaper for Hollywood. Movie number 2. Serial killer leaves clues for burned-out FBI agent as to who his next victim will be, so the agent will get back in the game. Start with direct-to-video feel, add a plot cribbed from better serial killer thrillers, throw in a bunch of showy visual effects and this actor's hysterical line readings, and you've got a night of talking back to the TV, MST3K style. It's ridiculous, but that's half the fun. So this is one of the harder ones, I think, even though it has a huge star and a well-known couple of stars in it. The year is 2000. The cast is James Spader, Marissa Tomei, and Keanu Reeves. So that might have given it away. If you've seen this film or you know of this film, you might have gotten it from especially the two male leads. I think they were, mostly featured in the trailer, in the advertising. The director is Joe Carbanick. Carbanick? I don't know how to say that. I'm trying my best. And the film is The Watcher. The Watcher with Keanu Reeves, James Spader, and Marissa Tomei. The fun fact I have for you is that Reeves passed on this script, but his assistant forged his signature on the contract. He chose to star rather than to get into a lengthy legal battle, and he was barred from disclosing that until 1 year after the film's release. So that's weird. That's a bit of interesting weirdness, right? That his assistant, I assume, who was fired, forged his signature on a contract. Seems like there would be lawyers involved and stuff. That sounds like there's more to that story that we don't know. But anyway, that's what I dug up when I was looking for some fun facts. Number 3. Now, before I read this one starts off with a very strange adjective for our main character, but let's go. Number 3. Rock hard cop, blank, attempts to track down a psychopathic rooftop killer before a kidnapped girl dies. He abuses the murderer's civil rights, however, forcing the police to return the criminal to the streets, where he hijacks a school bus and the main character is called on once again. The only answer to stop this vicious killer seems to be death in cold blood, and he is just the man to do it. This is a cop thriller. It's pretty well regarded, well received. I think this is a tougher one just because the description's not super straightforward. The year is 1971. The cast is Harry Gardino, Andrew Robinson, and Clint Eastwood. That might give it away, Clint Eastwood. The director is Don Siegel. Don Siegel. And that movie is Dirty Harry, 1971's conservative wet dream, Dirty Harry. If only they let the cops off the leash to violate people's civil rights. We would get all these criminals in jail. Anywho, the fun fact that I have for you for this film is that Empire Strikes Back director Irving Kershner was originally hired to direct this film with Frank Sinatra signed on to star. Sinatra had a hand injury that forced him to leave the production, and Kershner soon followed. So that would have been an interesting take on the Dirty Harry lore, to have Frank Sinatra be Dirty Harry. I mentioned in the VHS haul video that I made, the last video I posted, that I thought that the Deadpool, which is one of the VHSs that I got, was part 2, but it turns out it was part 5. So they made a lot of those Dirty Harry movies. It would have been interesting to see Frank Sinatra as that tough guy. Movie number 4. A young computer whiz, thinking he's sneaking in an advanced look at a new line of video games, breaks into the country's NORAD missile defense system and challenges it to a game of global thermonuclear warfare. The game might just turn out to be the real thing. Slick look at the possibilities of an accidental start to World War III. Entertaining and engrossing, but with a B grade ending. This one, I think the phrase global thermonuclear warfare might give it away if you've seen this movie especially. But I think maybe the year and the cast would definitely give it away. The year is 1983. And the cast is John Wood, Dabney Coleman, and Matthew Broderick. Broderick being the star is the one I thought would make it click with that synopsis, but if you haven't seen it, maybe you don't know it. That's okay. Try your best. That's all I ever ask. That movie is... Oh, no, I didn't tell you the director. The director is John Badham. And that movie is War Games. 1983's War Games. The fun fact that I have for you for War Games is that at the time of its release, the film's NORAD Command Center was the most expensive set ever built. It cost approximately $4.5 million, which would be just over $15 million adjusted for today's dollars. So that's a pretty expensive single set, right? Now, I don't know what, a very expensive set would be today. I don't know if they spend more than $15 million on a set, a room, but I can imagine they do. Movies cost a ton. All right, next, number 5. A man wrongly accused of sabotaging an American munitions plant during World War II sets out to find the traitor who framed him. The director uses his locations, including Boulder Dam, Radio City Music Hall, and the Statue of Liberty, to greatly intensify the action. A stunning resolution. So I had to redact or change a couple of things in there. But the year is 1942. So this is a black and white, 1942. The cast is Robert Cummins, Otto Kruger, and Priscilla Lane. The director is Alfred Hitchcock. So this is a early American production for Hitchcock. It might be his first American production. And the movie is Saboteur. Funny enough, Hitchcock did a movie called Sabotage, but they are different movies. My fun fact for you is that the famous shot of Norman Lloyd falling from the Statue of Liberty was achieved by having the camera fixed to a model of the statue's hand and then moving the whole rig up rapidly while the stationary actor flailed like he was falling. So they had him against a solid black background, which was kind of the green screen of black and white photography. So they could matte in stuff, or they could do rear projection, which they wouldn't have done in this case. But so they had the actor in some kind of rig where, he wasn't quite just laying on the ground flailing around. They had some kind of saddle for him, what I read, and he would flail around, and then the camera attached to the Statue of Liberty hand that's holding the torch or whatever, the camera would be like this, and then that whole rig goes up away from the actor, so it looks like the actor is falling, when in fact we're going up as the viewer. That's not how our mind works. So, number 6. Classic 30s style adventure reminiscent of early serials spawned sequels and numerous ripoffs and made the star a household name as dashing hero and intrepid archaeologist Blank. Set in 1936, he battles mean Nazis, decodes hieroglyphics, fights his fear of snakes, and even has time for a little romance in his quest for an artifact. Blank is perfectly cast as his feisty ex-flame, more than a little irritated with the smooth talker who dumped her years earlier. Asks viewers to suspend disbelief as every chase and stunt tops the last. unrelated opening sequence does a great job of introducing the character. I was hoping this would be one of the easier ones. It is a very well-known film. The year is 1981. The cast is Wolf Collar, Karen Allen, and Harrison Ford. The director is Steven Spielberg. I'll give you the writer too. The writer is George Lucas. So that movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark. So I did mention in my VHS haul video that the copy of the tape that I got says Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what I called it when I was a kid. It was later changed to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. The fun fact I have for you for Raiders is Sean Connery's presumed throwaway line in The Last Crusade, "We named the dog Indiana," is actually based in fact. George Lucas named the character Indiana Jones after his own Alaskan Malamute dog named Indiana. That's kind of a fun thing I did not know before doing a little research for the fun facts for this video. Number 7. Paranoia thriller shows what the nerds would do if they really wanted revenge. After a friend slips him a video cassette without his knowledge, lawyer Robert Dean is targeted by surveillance and gizmo-happy government agency headed by the sinister Reynolds. They hound Dean relentlessly, cutting him off from everything he holds dear by ruining his career and marriage and forcing him underground. Just when he has no place left to turn, he is aided by Brill, a remorseful ex-agent who helped create the cyber surveillance monster. From this point, our two heroes bicker buddy film fashion and things blow up until the inevitable shootout crescendo. The star's good guy vibe sustains interest in Tale of Technology Run Amok. And that's copied directly from the book. It should say A Tale of Technology, but that's what they wrote, is Tale of Technology Run Amok. The year is 1998. The cast is Jon Voight, Gene Hackman, and Will Smith. And the director is Tony Scott. And that movie is Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State. I mentioned in my last video that I saw this because of Jason Lee. At the time, I knew him mostly as a skateboarder, and I was a fan, so I was like, oh, I want to see Mallrats, and I want to see Enemy of the State, and so on and so forth. So I saw his movies because of that. The fun fact that I have for you for Enemy of the State is that the NASA surveillance satellite technology in the film did not exist at the time, but it essentially does now. This is due in a large part to a government engineer being inspired by the film and developing the idea in real life, leading to the wide area motion imagery tech used today. So that's fun and a little disturbing that this fictional sci-fi surveillance technology was seen by an engineer smart enough to think, oh, we could do that in real life, and then actually develop it. Movie number 8. A young man whose sickly grandfather has taught him a secret form of kung fu starts to make a living off of his unique fighting style, only to attract the attention of his grandfather's mortal enemy. So there's a kung fu movie. I only had 4 of those in my haul video. The year is 1979. The cast is Dean Sheck, James Tien, and Jackie Chan. The director is Jackie Chan. So Jackie Chan directed this 1979 kung fu film. That movie is The Fearless Hyena, or The Fearless Hyena #1. as there were 2 of them. And that leads me to my fun fact. The footage shot for this film was used in the sequel. Some of the unused footage was used in the sequel because Jackie Chan broke his contract and refused to do any reshoots that they needed to do. So they used some footage from this film. It is rumored that they also used a body/stunt double for some shots, kind of the Crow, Brandon Lee style, but that has not been confirmed as far as I could find. Movie number 9. A troubled young man in search of a little truth ends up entangled in a kidnapping scheme. Muddled direction is overcome by above-average performances and gritty realism. Based on the novel by Jim Thompson. I left that in as I often do with authors of source novels or short stories or whatever. Just because I didn't think it gave it away too much. If you're a huge Jim Thompson fan, you maybe know this just by that. But I thought this was a tougher synopsis or a tougher movie to guess, so I left that in for you. You're welcome. The year is 1990. The cast is Bruce Dern, Rachel Ward, and Jason Patric. The director is James Foley. If that helps you. And that movie is After Dark, My Sweet. It's a good one. It's a great neo-noir. The fun fact that I have for you is the film's main character is said to be faking mental illness, but there are many inconsistencies throughout the story that point to an unreliable narrator. It's never specifically pointed out, like at the end of Fight Club. Hopefully that's not a spoiler if you haven't seen Fight Club. But the film leverages that uncertainty for a taut neo-noir feel and leaves some questions unanswered. Finally, we have film number 10. Hank, his slow brother Jacob, and Jacob's best friend, alcoholic Lou, find the wreckage of a small plane in the snowy Minnesota woods. The pilot is dead, and there's a bag filled with $4 million in cash, which they decide is drug money. The trio decide to keep quiet about the find and keep the money hidden until the plane is discovered by someone else. But having all that loot brings out the greed in everyone, and soon nasty things begin to happen to all those involved. Is this a tough one? I'm not sure. I don't think it was a huge movie, but genre fans probably saw it just because of the director, who you'll hear soon. But the year is 1998. The cast is Bridget Fonda, Billy Bob Thornton, and Bill Paxton. That director that I mentioned, that genre fans would check out his latest movie, even if it's not a horror film, this is more of a thriller, is Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi directed this one. And this movie is A Simple Plan. The fun fact I have for you is that Billy Bob initially passed on the script, but came back to accept it. He was the first name attached to Raimi's project, and it was he who suggested Paxton for the lead. So that's it. That's all I have for you this week. Hopefully you got a few of those. They weren't too tough. I try to mix up the difficulties and go back and forth. I thought personally that the toughest one was Fearless Hyena, just because that is such a generic plot line for so many kung fu movies. It really does come up in a lot of kung fu movies. So that might have been a tough one, but hopefully the Jackie Chan being the star and director helped you out on that one. But if you want to like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. If you don't, that is fine too. Either way, you're going to see me the next time I post. Thanks.